I can look forward to 6 more months of my stupid heater boxes clicking every time they turn on.
Well, good. At least you're off to a good start for the winter.
I had to put socks on, Brad. What am I, homeless?
Maybe. Maybe it would do you some good.
No.
Why is it dark? Oh, I know why.
Irritating. How cute.
One second here.
Interesting. Apple did not invite Bloomberg to fall product event because of that story.
Yeah, I saw that.
You should have invited me instead.
You should please.
I didn't write any crap about Apple that month.
Please email Apple and be like, "So I hear you have an extra seat."
Nice. I would like to volunteer. Also, I need an iPhone.
All right. Let me see. I kind of forgot to see if the pages were all set up correctly. I'm assuming they are.
Go for it. What could go wrong?
I was about to say, what's that domain? But then, yeah.
Thanks.
I'm here because I'm at work. Otherwise, I'd be playing Red Dead Redemption. So instead, I'll torture myself with Brad and Paul again. That's kind of how I feel. Mostly just the torture part. Kumbaya, my threat. Almost ready. Still got 2 minutes. What am I even talking about? All right. How was your Call of Duty, Paul?
It was pretty good. I'm actually falling on hard times lately.
Please go on. What's the peril in your life this morning?
My KD has gone down precipitously.
Oh.
It's down to something like 1.12 or 1.13. It's not good.
I got my hair cut this morning. Thanks for noticing. But the problem is, I usually shout.
So that's messed up. I saw a picture of you from your earlier podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the promo image, and I was like, oh, Brad didn't get his haircut. And I'm like, if I put that on Twitter, I am never going to hear the end of it. So I literally didn't say anything.
Oh, no, I did. Well, so you're right. I got my haircut between these two podcasts. And usually, this is way too much information, I shower after I get a haircut because hair is... Yeah, because, you know, I have a full head of hair, unlike my two brothers, if they're listening.
Wow.
Well, you know, I'm the youngest.
Really? Is there some... Really?
Well,
Really?
I mean, they're losing their hair, and I've still got a full head. Paul, we take the wins where we can get them when we're the youngest.
Sure.
And so, yeah. Anyways, I forgot. I did not that I forgot. I just didn't have time.
Haircut, something.
Something hair falling out onto places, and I was like, "Why is there hair on my laptop?" I'm like, yeah, it didn't. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to First Ring Daily on Friday, where I got a haircut and Paul's healthy as a horse.
Or just horse because I'm unhealthy.
Are horses really that healthy? Do we know this?
I don't know why that comes from. I think it's just because they're huge muscular animals.
Oh, yes, man, maybe. Yeah, I would imagine a horse with an upper respiratory infection would be.
Oh, yes.
I don't know where I was going with that, but here we are. It's Friday. It's
Yep.
It's Friday. Actually, I woke up this morning and I asked my wife if my daughter could just stay home from school and bring me hot chocolate all day, and I would just not get out of bed because it's cold.
How'd that go over?
It's raining. I got out of bed like an adult and took my kid to school and came home and cried about it.
Yeah, we get up every morning at like 6. It's pitch black outside. It's like being in Stockholm in the middle of the winter. And it's going to be like this for months.
I know. Why aren't what kind of crimes can we commit to get rich but not get caught? This is
right. Well, based on the true crime shows we watch every day, there are no such crimes.
I wonder if that's just police propaganda.
Well, I'll just say this. Don't ever kill anybody, Brad, because you will leave evidence.
always soulful advice from the Throt family household. Don't kill anyone.
If you do kill someone, yeah, I'll probably help you bury the body. But, you're still probably going to go down.
Moving on to less murderous topics. Google reported their earnings yesterday, which were pretty good. But I think your tweet, it pains me to say this, got it pretty accurate. Roughly 86% of their revenue comes from advertising. And that's mostly what you need to know about that.
I look for this every time they announce it. I go to their earnings form. I go down and look for advertising. I look over the amount. I compare it to the total revenues. I do the math. 86%. So it's actually gone down a little bit. It used to be north of 90. They do have other businesses that make money, like their enterprise software and so forth. But obviously, those are relatively small businesses. For some reason, my wife has to clean the room next to me right now. I mentioned the documentary film crew that's coming to our home. Apparently, they're coming today as well.
Oh,
so they can scout locations.
And, unusual. You've never had issues with dates and times and places to be.
Well, I knew I had something this afternoon. I thought it was the HP thing, but actually it was these guys. Anyway, we need to clean the house. So what the hell was I just saying? Yeah, the other thing about Google that I thought was semi-interesting, I don't think this is the first time, but it's one of the first times. Google's revenues and profits were both higher than Microsoft's this quarter. And so there's kind of an interesting dynamic going on there. Obviously, Google has been growing and growing at a very fast clip. Microsoft under Satya Nadella has seen great growth as well, but they're a much more mature company. So, we used to be really burned about Apple, and we have other companies we need to start worrying about on the Microsoft side of the fence, like Amazon and obviously Google as well.
Yeah, which is somewhat interesting too, because Microsoft had a blockbuster quarter for them, $29 billion. And if Google's besting that, obviously.
I always, I always look at the Microsoft stuff and I kind of wonder where it's coming from, And
hold on, Paul. You're telling me they don't do a good job of breaking out their services and making it easy to identify things. You telling me that?
I mean, they break out revenues by division, and that's about the end of that. After that, we get percentage growth over whatever. We don't know where the starting point is, so we can never really do good comparisons. We never get profits. You can talk about how Surface is a something billion-dollar business or whatever, but has it ever made a cent?
Yeah, we don't know.
Xbox, I don't believe, has ever made a cent. And it's also interesting, and this is true of Intel as well, that Microsoft's biggest business is the more personal computing business, which is the part of the business that makes Windows 10 and Xbox. Those things that no one would think would be the biggest part of Microsoft these days. On the Intel side, what I'm talking about are chips for PCs, and here these products are they're the kings of a dying business, and they're still generating more in revenues than the rest of the company, not combined, but than any other part of the company.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money flowing around.
It's interesting.
I was going to say you're interesting, but I think we've had enough compliments for this episode to serve us as serve a lifetime, something like that. The other interesting thing that kind of popped up today where's my mouse? Why is it up there?
Yes, Brian.
We're always a professional show here where we actually know what's going on. Android more secure than iOS and Windows.
Yeah, I kind of sat on this one for a few days. I wanted to watch the video again, which I did. I recommend watching it. It's a Gartner research paper that they made a video with Google highlighting how secure Android is. And that should raise questions with anyone who's listening to this. It is aimed at the enterprise, of course, and they also look at Android bolstered by things like Samsung Knox or Android on Pixel devices, just like 10 on Surface devices could be more secure for various reasons. But however you measure it, whether it's pure Android, these other kinds of Android, the way Gartner's criteria is a lot of it, but not all of it, by the way, but a lot of it is obviously enterprise focused, even if you leave out the enterprise stuff, just the base OS features, using their criteria. And I made my own little scoring system for it. So there's all kinds of ways you could dig into this and find problems. I'm not suggesting that any of this is a fact, but Android is the most secure, followed by Windows 10, and then by a wide margin beyond that to iOS. Now, if you would ask me a day before I saw this, of these three platforms, which do you think is the most secure, I probably would have reversed them, right? And I would have said that iOS was more secure than Windows, not because, well, actually, maybe it is an inherent superiority. It's a simpler system. It's a lockdown system. It is by nature completely sandboxed. Windows does have the ability to run any apps you want and all that kind of stuff. So you can introduce problems in ways there that you can't on iOS. That would be my only rationale for that.
Yeah.
And then Android would be dead last, obviously, right? So I don't know. I'm still struggling with this. So eventually I thought I have to get this out. It's been a couple of days. Someone else is going to write about this, but yeah, there it is. So I don't know if you looked at it at all. I don't know if you have any.
No, I saw the headline and I figured I could just ask you on here rather than spend the time reading something you wrote.
I'll look. We'll see what people comment on this one. I almost wrote something like, because I do feel someone's going to point out something glaringly obvious, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, it's only Android running in a sandbox environment on a Windows 10 computer.
Right, not connected to the internet.
Right.
Perfectly safe.
Very realistic scenarios. Very realistic scenarios. And then last kind of thing here, well, not last, that's a bold lie. But how's that S9 working out for you?
I got to say, I love it. And someone said to me, I think via email, they said, why don't you just put the Project Fi Sim in the Samsung and just use that, and there are some downsides to doing that. Technically, it should be possible, right? You're not going to get the network switching capabilities and so forth. And so, I was like, I think I will do that. It's a good idea, And then I literally picked up the phones and I was like, oh, right. I'm using Project Fi on an eSIM on the Pixel, so I don't have a way to take an activated SIM out of it and put it in the Samsung. So I did order a Project Fi SIM from Google. It's free to do that, and whenever that arrives, I'll see how it wigs out of me when I try to put that in there, and I'll give it a shot. Meaning I'll try to put it in the Pixel first, see if I can activate it that way, and then get it back, put it in the Samsung and see if it works. Because this. You have an iPhone XS. It's an excellent device. It's just beautiful to look at, and it's obviously super high quality. I feel like the Samsung is very similar, and it's side by side with the Pixels, it's of demonstrably higher quality. It's immediately obvious, And I got this little. I don't know if I showed it to you yesterday, but I put it in this case, which I really like. It's kind of a fabric-y kind of thing. It looks plastic, but it's not. It's fabric-y. And then I think I showed you the color was terrible, but it's mostly hidden now. So I wish I had gotten a different color, but we'll see. I could picture using this for the next year, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and maybe taking the Pixel on trips or something. But
or just take the Samsung on trips and make life easy.
I don't like to do things that way. You of all people should appreciate the desire to not do anything easily. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually, the other thing too that's worth pointing out is PUBG got a major update. They finally rolled it out to everybody. I think we're getting, at least on the X now, maybe ballparking 30 frames per second. It feels like a new game. It's
really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll have to take a look.
It's remarkably better frame rate. So.
All right.
Yeah. How's that Have you tried since, well, I guess yesterday, the Black Ops?
No,
mode.
The blackout. No, Is that what you're going to ask?
Yeah.
No, I thought I was going to Prestige yesterday, so I'm like, I'm going to go through this. So you got to remember, everything's different, right? And by different, I mean different from the last game. There are similarities between all the Call of Duty games, and then of course, when you go from Black Ops to Black Ops, there are more similarities there. But I haven't played a Black Ops game in a couple of years, and so you have to kind of get back into the gist of the system they have. So the way Black Ops does things is you have a certain number of points you can allot to the loadouts you have. So there's a gun, a secondary gun, there's attachments for the guns, there's perks, and you can, if you want to have no attachments and lots of perks, you can do that. You can kind of mix it up. So I've been kind of playing around with this stuff, and I talked about cheap kills. I don't have any good ways to do cheap kills, although as it turns out, there are some classes that have some cheap kill-like capabilities. So I've been just kind of playing around with it. So anyway, the point of all this is no, but the every device in front of me just vibrated in some way. Yep, there goes the other one. And so, and it's important too because a new album is available on Google Photos. Anywho, I thought level 50 was going to be the prestige point, and so I was like, I'll prestige and then I'll play around with other stuff. And then I hit 50 and nothing happened, and I looked at it again and it's like 55. So I don't know, maybe today.
And then I'm actually going to be curious. Have you got any update on when you get your iPhone?
No, I don't get it anytime soon because, if you pre-ordered it like right away, you would get it today, right? Yeah. I think today's the day it launched. The last time I checked, it was like early November, which could be a week from today, but it could also be the following Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really think to. I don't know if I ever explained this, but when you went to do to look at the pricing before you could pre-order it, they only had the carrier deals. They didn't have the unlocked version, like they did with the 10S and the 10S Max. And so I sort of thought, well, they used to do this way. Maybe I have to wait until later to do that. So this says arrives November 2 to November 6. November 2 is next Friday. November 6 is next Tuesday. So, yeah, it's going to be a little while.
It's not too bad, though.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got plenty of stuff to screw around with anyway. But anyway, if I didn't mention this before, and it's too late to help anyone now, but I'll just mention this. As it turns out, if you order the T-Mobile version, it is unlocked, and it works with all of the carriers. So that's actually the unlocked one. So you can, like, if you go to apple.com and say, I'm going to buy a new iPhone XR, and I want an AT&T phone or a Verizon phone, you actually have to go through their system with your phone number and register it. And if you don't have an account, you have to create a new account. Like, you can't just get the phone. But if you do it with T-Mobile, and I think with Sprint, but I didn't do that, obviously, you don't have to do any of that. So the T-Mobile one is just, it supports everything. Gotcha. So I didn't find that out until it was too late. Like, if I'd known that earlier, I would have ordered this thing on, day one, but I didn't. So I got to wait.
And then one question from the chat room. Actually, it's probably one of those devices you haven't touched yet. Any update on the X1 Extreme?
Yeah, I was just the Carbon X1. Yeah. Yes. I just did some performance benchmarks on that last night, actually. And I got it's funny, I got a couple of, I don't really game on the PC, and I want to see if I can use these on the Xbox. But randomly, I just got some gaming headsets from two different companies. And I was thinking, I'm going to, I actually meant to ask you about this. Like, I think I'm going to do some game well, it's not really benchmarking. I think I'm going to try to play some games on this computer just to kind of see where it falls from like a frame per second standpoint. So I was thinking like PUBG, and then I got to find something where you can actually see that information on the screen.
If you're doing it, if you're doing it on the PC, you can do it with any game.
Okay. So like I said, I don't play games on the PC, but off the top of my head, I want to say it is just south of Surface Book 2 levels of performance.
Which headsets did you get, actually? I'm curious.
So I got an HP Envy something, and I can't see the other one. I'm sorry. I think the other one is a...
Are they PC? They're PC gaming headsets?
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Well, you're dead to me. If they were Xbox ones, I was going to tell you to mail them to me.
But they must just attach. Well, I don't know if they're USB. Then we're screwed.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach Elite Atlas.
Turtle Beach Elite Atlas. Hold on.
No,
That's what these are. I actually like Turtle Beach stuff.
Yeah, but it's probably these days. They haven't like again. I haven't gamed on the PC in a while, so they're probably USB based. I would imagine at this point, which is not going to help if you want to use it with an Xbox One. But.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, that's what.
But yeah, I mean, I noticed like in Black Ops. Well, like any shooter, really. I mean, being able to hear where people are coming from
Big deal.
is a big deal. Yeah. And despite the fact that I have some pretty decent speakers here in front of the computer, or in front of the screen, they're kind of close. They're like out here, so I don't really get the separation I need sometimes. And what I found, I mean, almost universally, is just going off of hearing. I'll turn and run around a corner, and it's just never helped me at all. So I was thinking like headphones would actually make a big difference.
Oh no, they definitely will. I mean, that's what I game with on the Xbox for that exact reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Probably why my KD is so low, because I'm really a jerk not using headphones. That or because I'm like 50 years old. The rest of these people are college students.
College students might even be generous at some levels. High school students are
This is
even
students. We'll just say students.
Students. Yeah. You got anything else for today, Paul?
No, I don't know. I was hoping to take a nap this afternoon. My wife reminded me we've got people coming to the house now, so that's, awesome. How about you?
Maybe I'll take a nap because I know you can't. And just
Yes. How's your non-sick life going? Is it good?
gonna knock on some wood here. Hopefully that streak of non-sickness will continue. But as we enter the cold and chilly months, I gotta go get a flu shot. I still gotta do that. My daughter's freaking out about it because my wife just casually mentions like, yeah, we got to go get your flu shot. And she just like broke down mentally. Like you just kicked a dog or something. And
my son, when he was a little kid, needed to be, my wife brought my brother, because I was out of town, to get him to get a shot. And they had to bring in a third person aside from the nurse who was giving him the shot to restrain him. Like my wife and my brother were not enough. Like a wild caged animal,
Yeah, my daughter squirmed quite a bit last time. I had to hold her. They just did it in like the thigh, and nothing makes you feel better like restraining your child as they're about to get poked. But whatever.
It's like when I gave blood recently, and I noticed the woman was just talking to me as she was draining my body of its vital fluids. And finally, I said, "You're just distracting me, aren't you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I have to do that." I was like, "I don't care."
Yeah, weird. I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much, but I know some people get very freaked out about it. So
yeah, she was a little too interested in my story, It's like,
Wow. So, all right, folks. So that wraps it up for today. We'll be back next week. I don't think we have any travel next week. Hopefully not. It's Halloween here in the United States on Tuesday, so got that looking forward to. All sorts of candy and treats. And have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you right back here next time. Somebody said, thanks. I'm waiting for Paul's review before buying close to 4,000 Canadian dollars for that Lenovo Extreme.
It's awesome. Like my problem is like a laptop like that comes in and I'm like, this is amazing. It's the first 15-inch X1. I love X1s. I love this thing. The screen is amazing. Performance is fantastic. And then the Surface Laptop 2 comes in. I'm like, I love this thing. I love the keyboard and the trackpad. The screen is awesome. And then this HP Elite HP EliteBook X360 comes in. And I'm like, I love this thing. And these things are all great. It just kind of depends on what you need. I mean, for me personally, a 14-inch ThinkPad X1 kind of does the job, and I don't need discrete graphics, for my own needs. But I mean, I see this thing and it's like, yeah, no, it's awesome. I don't think there's not going to be any downside to this other than the cost.
See, now the problem, I'm going to blame you for this. I'm now looking at, I need a new Xbox gaming headset. I mean, these things were great, but I don't know if you can see.
What's the, what kind is it?
They're Turtle Beach, but the black padding stuff is completely falling. Now, granted, these things are 3 years old and they get a lot of use. And so
it's just a mic connection type thing, a little mini plug, and you put it right into the controller.
down at the bottom here. I mean, I was looking at like these bad boys, but they're expensive, but they look nice.
Yeah.
250 bones for these things.
Surely the Surface headset or whatever it's called, headphones, would work with Xbox One. Did we already have this conversation?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. That like maybe that would have been smart.
Yeah.
So, it's Halloween
Oh,
Wednesday.
maybe next
Damn
year.
it! Did I say it was Tuesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's Tuesday. Is the Apple thing. That's what I was thinking. So
Yeah. So Monday is the
nothing.
OneNote thing.
The what thing's Monday?
OneNote. No, not OneNote. Jesus, Paul. Sorry, I am sick. The OnePlus event, OnePlus
Yes,
6T,
yes. That.
is on Monday, and then Tuesday is Apple, and then Wednesday is Halloween.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right, I'll catch you later.
Alrighty, bye.